Male feminist VTuber ruins career about doubling down on hypocritical virtue signaling by Ref. Here is something funny. So I reacted to a previous video about that, right? Where he essentially was just crying and saying that he hates men, right? Or men do not get enough hate. And then he was getting his ass beaten. He was getting his ass beat so bad. He was quote tweeted in different languages. They were not just beating him in the replies and then the quote tweets, but also different languages. I think I saw a few Spanish ones, and I think I saw also a few Japanese ones. He is getting his ass beat on Twitter, rightfully so. It's really funny. He's also a former Nichi-sanji VTuber. That should give you more than you actually need to know. Not only that, but he's essentially just farming for female sims. That's what it is. And he also talks about how he's gonna off himself. Like on his Twitter. Quite a few times. He also lost like 7k followers? Or what was it, 3k? I don't know. It was a bunch of followers though. Here we go. It's gonna be real bad. It's gonna be really, really bad. It's time. Let's see. How bad has it gone?
Hey, what's up guys, Rip here. So believe it or not, we have a follow-up to a previous video I released about a week ago involving this VTuber named Kirio. Kirio has been doing his best to virtue signal on Twitter.
Is Ref always this short? I think bro shrunk. Wait, am I stupid? Is he always this short? Hold up, that's weird.
Whether it's for brownie points or impressing women, whatever his goal is, it's quite pathetic and hypocritical. Because just a month or so ago, he tweeted that people on this site are getting way too comfy with being unkind. Then fast forward to January 18th, he said,
yeah, we're not hating men enough. I'm gonna say something else. We're not calling women losers often enough. I'm like the anti Kyrio. I am. We're not calling women often enough losers. Moving on.
We're not hating men enough. Yes, he's tweeting this as a man. But since then, he has been on an engagement bait farm, making an absolute fool out of himself, doubling, tripling, quadrupling down to the point where he's now releasing YouTube videos claiming he's been—
Bro, that's a tasty like to dislike ratio. It's not good enough yet, in my opinion, right? It's not good enough, right? We just have like 380 versus 366, right? It's not good enough yet, right? He's still getting his ass beat, but it's not good enough yet. It's kind of funny.
Been canceled by stupid men on Twitter. And as you can see by the like to dislike ratio, not great. Also, not even pushing 3K views. Was it worth it, bro? Was it worth the self-defeating nature of calling out your fellow man just for clout and virtue signaling? Totally not. And while this guy will judge half of the population and say they don't deserve anything good, I believe everyone deserves something good, and they shouldn't be judged by the nature of how they were born. And to celebrate that, we have another—
Really? Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day. I hate you. I hate you, Ref. Of all the places, I did not expect to be reminded of my singleness. I thought it would be here. I thought it would be here. How dare you? That hurts. I feel betrayed. The betrayal.
Another drop with Advance. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, a new Advance Valentine's Day drop. And we're even bringing back the classic Rev and Straub Love Potion flavor jar. It is a hydration flavor jar. You can see me and my wife, Darling Straub, featured on this. Delicious flavor. It will keep you hydrated. Great stuff as always. But what is really special about this drop is that if you use code REV30, you'll get 30% off your entire advanced order. And this is only available for a limited time through the 25th. So just a few days. You can use it on our jar as well as the new
surprise attack. That's not funny. Cheap shot. That went below the belt. Cheap shot.
Sweethearts energy flavor jar that they're releasing for Valentine's Day as well, or my classic Permanent fixture Jolly Pop flavor, which is also an energy flavor jar. Love that. Proud to have that as a permanent fixture. We also got some old merch we're bringing back for Valentine's Day. We got some shakers. Once again, celebrating Valentine's Day. We got some t-shirts and hoodies, which Advance was kind enough to send to me and my wife. They look very great, high quality stuff. And of course, you can use it on any flavor jar or shaker on their website. I'll put a link to my collection on the pinned comment, and make sure to use code REV30 to get 30% off your total order. Make sure to use it before it is gone, ladies and gentlemen. But let's
just a back strike. Just like stab me in the back. Of course you do. This shit is gonna be hard. Because I've seen already the Valentine's ads slowly pop up anywhere, right? This shit's gonna be rough. This shit's genuinely gonna be rough. That's diabolical.
go back to Kirio. So he made this post that we talked about roughly a week ago where he said, "We're not hating men enough." Stunning and brave. This guy is doing anything to impress women, even if it means throwing his fellow brothers under the bus and doing a classic all men type statement. But let's see the
Something's off with the video quality too. I've noticed. It's doing this in 720p since when?
type of people who are supporting this. We saw the parasocial fans who were trying to prop him up, even though he was getting called out for being a hypocrite and, well, a man-hater. Here's someone saying, if you're a man and respect women and their boundaries, you should have no problem with this statement or any iteration of it.
All Muslims are see, this statement is interesting. Would you say it's bad if I say all Muslims are terrorists? Would you have a problem with that? I'd say if you're a Muslim and you're not a terrorist, you probably would have a problem with this, right? But what if I say now, well, if you are Muslim and you respect everyone, then you shouldn't have a problem with that. And now all of a sudden, all the accountability is gone. Because, right? I'm not actually saying all Muslims, right? Or I'm saying Muslims are terrorists, right? Because you're not saying all, right? I'm not saying, right? If it doesn't offend you, that means you're not men, right? I hate this. I hate this line of thinking. Right? We're not hating men enough. But if you're a man, you respect women, you should also not have a problem with this statement. It is really like, oh, all trans people, all gay people. It's like gay people, trans people, whatever, right? Whatever group that would have some stereotype, right? You'd have a problem if somebody made a similar statement like that and was like, hey, you know what? If you respect a certain group, then you're not meant by the statement. It just doesn't make sense. Nobody would use this line of thinking because there's no logic behind it. If you're saying we're not hating men enough, you mean all men. There was no exclusion, right? Because if a man made a woman, if a woman made a post, right, saying we're not hating women enough, you'd have a problem with that. However, you could then make the same argument, say if you're a woman that respect men, then you shouldn't have a problem with that statement. Absolute retardation.
With the amount of stories I hear from my friends about the disgusting stuff they've dealt with from men, especially in this space, this shouldn't be controversial. And if it is to you, you should fix this. Wow. That's
funny in this space. Should I pull out all the 30 instances of sex pesting by women? Should I do that? The grand sex pesting of women? Women getting off on their own audience? Should we pull that out? Should we? I don't think so. Because then it looked funny. The only reason why it gets blown out of proportion when a man does something weird and disgusting is because he's a man. But if a woman did the exact same thing, you just stand there and laugh and there'd be no problem, right? It's cool, it's hot when a woman is a weirdo and a creep and a degenerate. Anyways.
Amazing stuff. Great logic. So basically this guy's saying if you have a bad experience with a gender, you're allowed to make a all blank deserve more hates type statement. Yeah. Very, very deep, high IQ. This guy rubbed his 2 remaining brain cells together to come up with this absolute drivel, this absolute slop, engagement bait, virtue signal, whatever you want to call it. And you can see the high IQ of this guy. So someone says, what? No, if
Shiro! I like her. I like her. She's cool. I thought I gave the link. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, but you weren't there. That's the thing. You said when you were back. Listen. Curio was rage baiting us and we're getting rage baited, Poke. That's not rage bait, right? That's not rage bait. He's right. It's not obviously, right? He's making these posts all the time. He's just pandering. He's just a performative male. Right? That's not rage bait. He just does it because it gives him money from his audience of lonely loser women.
If you're a self-respecting man at all and have any amount of common sense, you would not support the hatred of men. This post is disgusting. Shame on you, to be honest. And here's his amazing response. LOL. Good debate. This person says, maybe you need new friends if all they do is drama dump on you and hate men, which I assume includes you. Seems toxic AF. But I'll take the super controversial position, sexism is bad in general. He responds by saying, yep, I'm so toxic. This person says, you are a rather craven individual. Go apologize to some trees for being a waste of air. And he says, how about you try being a better VTuber and not being so pathetic? I don't really know where this guy gets off telling people to do better at their...
He's a male VTuber. Yeah. Don't go around call other people's loser. Because see, male VTubers exist only because of one reason, and one reason only. They're not entertaining enough to be a regular VTuber. Male VTuber. See, male YouTuber, like, female YouTubers, it's a quick way to get success, right? But they're also, like, oftentimes really into it. Male YouTuber, you only go that way because everything else doesn't work. That's the simple reason why you go that route, right? With 18 plus audios, right? We know it. Failure. L.
VTubing career, like, bro, settle down, okay? And also look at the profile type this guy has. He is a mirror of Curio, the e-boy LARPer who's trying to...
Yeah, the sad e-boy LARPer who wants to end it all. That's what it is. Can't do this anymore. Horror. Can't do this. Nah, we need more people shaming these guys back into and a backwater alley where they into the backwater alley that they belong, and then just like explode their penis. Most male VTubers getting pegged. Nah, it's just usually see, they're performative for a simple reason, and that is why, and the reason is that the space has a lot of women, right? And if they can mask themselves, it's like, yeah, I'm the good guy. See, I'm a good guy, right? By the way, nobody that ever calls themselves a good guy is ever a good guy, by the way. Just saying. The thing is that they do this because it gives them access to, like, collabs, right? That's usually what happens. I don't know if he's a male VTuber, to be honest, but he's probably. I'm assuming he's probably, right? I'm assuming he is, right? So yeah, this is usually the pipeline, right? They do this because then they get access to women. That's it. It's like a guy LARPing as a liberal. It's like a guy acting as a liberal to get pussy. Same. It's literally the same thing. Are you a good guy? I do not know. Others have to decide that for me. I think occasionally I'm a horrible human being, but that's just besides me.
Act all like deep and mysterious and talks in a deep voice. Like, these are this is the bottom of the barrel, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, we got to go back to Curio, who has been playing this whole situation up. He loves the attention, okay? He is embracing being canceled. Buddy, you're not really canceled because your audience is so...
Bro, you're not canceled. People just call you retarded.
Parasocial by your design. You could do whatever you want, and they're going to stay with you. It's people on the outside who are looking at your sexist comments, your hypocritical ones as well, and saying you're an idiot. and you can't handle it. You're literally haywiring, which, ironically enough, his former account at Niji Sanji was called Hex Haywire, but I digress. He has really double, tripled, and quadrupled down. So you have the original tweet down here saying we're not hating men enough. Then he says, getting canceled, so sad. Anyway, I'm live on Twitch. Then he says, in 2026, I will continue to rage bait men more. Interesting. The rage bait king here doesn't really seem to stand by anything, because if you keyword search men on his account, you get 2 tweets. The new ones he made, right? The original one that caused the controversy.
You let me guess. He deleted the rest so nobody could pick it up. See, if you delete evidence, that means we've got your ass. We've got your ass. That's simple. You're good enough? Maybe. I don't know. A good person, though, gets cheated on, I think. I don't know.
And a follow-up saying he's rage baiting men more this year. But of course, in my previous video, I keyword searched men on his account, and these are all the other tweets. He deleted all these. So the rage bait king over here, the alpha that this guy is covering up his tracks and deleting all of his posts saying he hates men, etc. Yeah, very bold of this guy.
Yeah, that was from the last time, and not gonna lie, if you delete your post, it's just the truth. You're not rage baiting. You just do it so you get attention.
And as Parrot points out here,
I love Parrot. Well, we get it, little bro. You got a demographic to appeal to. I love Parrot. Parrot getting involved. I like it. Yeah. It's horny, lonely women. Horny, lonely, bitter women.
It's like, we get it, dude. We understand, okay? We know what you're doing. We understand your parasocial demographic that hates men, and you're pandering to them. And it makes a lot of sense when you look back at his former Niji Sanji avatar. He had a plastic asset. I'll just say that.
That is just, in my opinion, just diabolical. He just had a fun. Now, here's the question. Is the plastic asset for the girlies, or is the plastic asset for himself? Here is the question. I don't know. Do you know?
Okay, I don't know if YouTube really likes that word. And he would literally hold it in his hand and wave it around in front of his extremely parasocial audience. And I can't stress that enough. But he wasn't done. The virtue signal was not completed from this guy. He needs to do more. He is desperately yearning for a crumb of attention and approval from any woman on the internet. So he makes this post right here saying,
we're not loving women enough. I disagree. We're loving them a little too much. Isn't that great? Interesting. I wonder what he's gonna show. You're on the same... If he's on the same page as Aster, that's diabolical.
We're not loving women enough, which is a sort of counter to what he said earlier about men not getting enough hates. Stunning and brave stuff. I'm sure your very parasocial audience will seal clap at this very low efforts post here. But as pointed out in the replies, let's go back to the whole Niji Sanji arc of this guy's career, where he played the character Hex Haywire. This photo right here represents the worst side of this guy's community. Okay, I'm not showing this for obvious reasons, but it's an arm of someone allegedly carving the name Hex into...
No way! No way! No way! So somebody essentially committed SH in his name? Crazy. He's really farming mentally ill. But now you told me again, and now I have it in my calendar, and now I'll never forget it. So calm down. Calm your ovaries. I don't know. It's okay. We get it.
To their arm. Okay? And given this guy's history of engaging and promoting parasocial relationships with his audience, I'm not surprised something like this would happen. Kirio, as Hex Haywire, was known for his Twitter likes being filled with selfies of his own fans under related hashtags. There was hundreds of them.
Wait, his likes were public? Right. So wait, he was liking pictures of women when his likes were still public. When likes were still public. Ew. Interesting. Very interesting. Wouldn't it be sad if a few years down the line, somebody just drops information about him just being weird with women?
He was encouraging them by engaging with their behavior to do more. If a fan is posting selfies and photos of themselves with the clear intention, especially using hashtags, to get your attention as a content creator and you are liking them, you are giving them a feedback loop. And that is the most parasocial thing ever. As a YouTuber, that is a no-no. A content creator generally, that's a no-no. You don't engage with stuff like that because it gives people this parasocial relationship with you. They start posting more stuff. It's very, very unhealthy. And that's how you end up with stuff like this. Okay? Disgusting. But of course, our king of rage bait was not done. He took to
He made another one, and he got his ass beat again!
YouTube. And I'm sorry, earlier I said he wasn't pushing 3K views. He got over the 100
Never mind. Never mind. It's the same video. Sad.
view threshold here. He is now at 3K views. That is amazing stuff. Well done, Curio. He's got the 50-50 like to dislike ratio, but clearly he got the last laugh in this situation by posting a 16-minute cope session in front of 3,000 people. Yeah, amazing stuff. He is, of course, streaming, and this is a video capturing some of that, where he's addressing all the backlash and how he's being canceled by all these awful people.
So if I had said, you know, we're not hating women enough, I would have not received half the backlash. But the problem with this statement is it's like very untrue. Like, women have it very much historically and observably harder than men in many departments.
Just in one department, and realistically, that's just power. Realistically, it's just power. Because the men are just more powerful. Right? Sorry, Curio, but the unfortunate reality is that the stronger somebody is, the more power they can hold. And unfortunately, typically that's men. Even among other men, right? Again, and also, historically, women just had one problem, and that was mostly in the family structure. Historically, problems were in the family structure, because men and women, the poor men and women, for example, of the Middle Ages, didn't really have that many rights that were that different. Rights were only really that different if you had, like, actually some power, right? You were royalty, you were from a family of a good house, right? But other than that, there wasn't that much difference, right? Men also didn't get, like, women just got the voting ability to vote not that far after men. Silly creature. Silly creature!
Right? I'm not saying that men have it easy or life is easy. Life is hard for everybody usually, right? Like, especially, except if you're like, you know, you've been born with a silver spoon or something. But life is hard. But for women, it's even harder. And if I had said that...
Not really. That depends on what... If you're telling me that the life of women is hard in Europe or in the US, I'm gonna point and laugh. Those women's lives are not hard. Women in poor countries' lives, those are hard. Silence, mortal. Silence.
We're not hating women enough. I guarantee that I wouldn't have received half or a fourth as much backlash. But it's these sensitive loser incels that are, you know, have been thriving in the dusty recesses of Twitter that are very pissed about it. And I absolutely am not backing down. Like, they can all suck my dick, to be honest with you.
I think you're sucking dick, to be honest. Also, it's like incel. Yes, man I don't like, or man that disagrees with me is an incel. We have had this before. You're just a performative male who does everything he wants just to get female validation, because without the attention of women, you are nothing, because you cannot exist without the attention of the other sex, because that is the only thing that gives you any purpose. I don't know, but others, mine is hard. Periods suck, and the fact that you can't control the timing, oh my god, it's hard out there. Ever had the sperm cramp? You never understand my pain, our pain. You never understand our pain. Ever had the sperm cramp? You would never get it.
And again, I'm not trying to say that all men are bad people, but somehow it's always a man who's pissed at me. Never a woman. I don't get it. Like, I'm not...
I find that funny because Shiro was in there, and then Neven also responded, ah yes, those don't count as women, right? Because they're disagreeing with you, right? Right? Motherfucker.
saying all men are bad people, but somehow it's always some like incel guy who is pissed at me, and never a woman. I don't really understand.
Okay, first of all, I want to point something out, and once I point it out to you, you'll never unsee it, okay? So, whether you rewatch that clip or you wait for the next clip we're going to watch, every 10 seconds or so, you'll notice this guy takes a heavy gasp for air. The reason that's happening is because he's putting on a forced voice. And this unnatural voice,
Wow! He's using a deeper voice to get more attention from women. I can't do this anymore. See, my statistics tell me, if they're not bots, I have 20% women watching my videos. And I don't have to be performative. I don't have to lie about my voice. I don't have to cater to the ladies. And how often is that? Not every month, I assume. Every month, yes, it is. Once every month, a man just experiences intense, pulsating pain in one of his balls. This is so silly.
trying to have like this deep voice. It's so unnatural that it puts strain on him. It puts strain on his lungs. So every 10 seconds, he has to take this deep, every couple of seconds, right? It's very obvious. Once you see it, you'll never unsee it. It's very, very funny when you realize how forced all of this is. But
this would be like if I ever all the time talk in this voice. That sounds like ass, right? I'm lowing right now. That feels already annoying because I have this weird like it's forming a ball. Stop it! Shut the fuck up. Nobody likes you.
anyways, his big point is that if he said a tweet where, we're not hating women enough, he would have gotten half, maybe even a quarter of the backlash. That is a very childish and stupid defense. Like, no, really, unpack this. He's basically saying, I did something bad, but I could have done something worse. Therefore, what I did is not bad. What? Buddy, that makes absolutely no sense. That is the dumbest defense I've ever heard. Like, am I talking to like a fully functional human being here? But of course...
No, prefrontal cortex stopped developing at 12. It's that simple.
Of course, with his audience, they're so
That's it.
parasocial. They're just gonna accept whatever this guy says. Like, he could show up and just like mumble random words, and they'd be like, "We love you so much! Oh my gosh!" But of course, he also brings up the
brain that seal clapping.
classic. He calls his critics sensitive, loser incels. Amazing. Amazing that the male feminist is literally
The classic, St. Paul once said, I've seen what no pussy does to a motherfucker. But I've also seen what pussy does to a motherfucker. And it's much worse.
sounding just like your typical feminist, calling all their critics loser incels. But sensitive, that's very funny. This guy makes a terrible post about wanting more hatred towards men, and now he's gone on a 5 or so day crash out because people said, hey dude, that's hateful and you're a hypocrite. But the people saying that are sensitive. Dude, you're the sensitive one. Like, realize that. But also the loser incel comment, amazing. That's what they say when they have absolutely no counter argument whatsoever. That's what they say. Okay?
Like they have no counter argument, so they use this, right? Just like the previous guy, right, who had no way to counter anything.
And at this point, it's obvious that's a very valuable currency, right? Whether someone's an incel or not, which is pathetic in its own right. But we have scenarios like this, and I don't like to pull this card out unless it's relevant. I'm a married man. And I think what you said is stupid and hypocritical. Now what? What do we do now?
You're still an incel because now, you're still an incel because he disagrees with you, right? You can't be married. You can't be literally out there having sex videos of yourself, right? He would still call you an incel.
Gonna like malfunction? Do you have anything else to say? Because what you're saying is not really an argument in the first place. It's just insulting people, but it doesn't even work on people like me. So like, now what? But anyways, he also said in that clip, he's not saying all men are bad, but it's always a male, and also calls them incels again. So he's saying, when I said all men, I didn't mean all men in a tweet where I said all men. Make it make sense. But let's listen to one more relevant clip from this.
Lord have mercy from this loser. Oh my god.
Brooding intellect.
And I think the most ironic part is when so many men are like, oh my god, you will never, like, you will always be a virgin, blah, 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 in my comment section. Like, the craziest projections ever. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, that is, I guarantee you, you have, like, it's so insane. It's so fucking crazy, the projections that they're throwing out there for me. I cannot even, I cannot.
That, how can these women sit there and watch this, dude? Bro, listen. This obnoxious breathing every single time. Like, I can right now, I was breathing, like, right now, really quickly and loudly, and you probably didn't hear that. He does it, like, after every sentence because of his forced voice. How can you sit there and bear with this? Jeez.
Not even, simply put. But yeah. I don't know. It's really ridiculous, and it's also really saddening and funny.
As I briefly pointed at earlier, when it comes to people like this, he calls everyone incels who he doesn't like, not only because he has no argument, but also because whether or not someone is engaging in sexual behavior, that is the most valuable currency to someone like this. I think it's very obvious. This guy's entire LARP on the internet is...
Yes, it is. Sexual themes are his most valuable currency, right? That's how he got The Sims. It's that simple.
Is all about impressing women, right? It's so obvious. Like, it's the LARPing as an e-boy. It's the pathetic, pandering, virtue-signaling tweets. It's all about that. But at the end of the day, this guy is a self-hating man, and it's absolutely pathetic and shallow. But let's see the comment section. So I'm pretty positive he's deleting comments, but let's see some of them. I don't know, trying to force hate on yourself just because you want to appeal more to women sounds really like a douchebag. I don't think you actually care about women. You just care because it's content and it pays you.
Bingo! 10 out of 10. You got 100 points. D9, D470. Accurate. Yes, that is what he's doing. That is exactly what he's doing. Like, that's the exact reason. That's what he's doing. 100%.
I just know someone is working overtime to delete some of the comments here. Peak performative. I hate half the planet. Guys, half the planet hates me now. Bruh. So it's okay to hate on men if you're a content creator? For clout? Casual reminder, as Hex Haywire of Niji Sanji, this fella actively endorsed his viewers to vent, aka trauma dump in super chats to him, or to quote a Parrot 4chan video. He was monetizing mental illness. Wasn't he the one?
I'm doing that too, though. My mental illness.
One that called his fan base as sicklings. Yes, thank you for reminding me. his old fan base was called sicklings, like a bunch of unwell people. He like literally played into that. This guy is the epitome of everything wrong with these performative virtue signaling VTubers. It's just ridiculous. It's not even worth it. Again, 3K views on a YouTube video after getting clowned on for days and days and seething about it. But I'm glad you're getting seal claps from your unwell fan base. I'm sure that's exactly what you're going for. I don't think anyone on the outside even matters at this point. But for those peeking into this world of people like Kirio, we see how unwell and ridiculous all of the things this guy stands for truly are. But anyways.
Truly, but anyways. Yeah, this guy is absolute mental illness. 100%, no doubt about it. Out with this dude. I don't know what he's doing here. Shame him as much as you can. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.